Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Neil. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Car Concierge Pro. Along with me, we have Akansha, who is a business consultant and a market research associate. So she has been coordinating and I would say she has been communicating with you over the past couple of hours since we have been connected when you
Mhm.
sent all the information about the vehicle what you're looking at.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Everything that she sent over um, is what I've been trying to do. Right now, I'm trying to look throughout the market. It's a very niche market, it seems. So, uh, might needed a little help because it seems like it's a full-time job to kind of look for one.
Yes. And that is what we do. So we do this full time, 24/7, 365 from Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. And then we go above and beyond to ensure that whatever our clients are looking for in terms of their vehicle, in terms of inspection, in terms of anything which is required, which we can do on their behalf, we keep doing it to make their lives easier.
Understood. Yep, and that's what I'm looking for.
Correct. So all the calls, all the, I would say, communication with multiple dealerships with respect to the Jaguar, uh, based upon your preferences, will be done by us. You will be connected and introduced to associates who work with clients throughout the day, and then they will be doing a deeper dive with respect to your requirements. And then what they do is they will call dealerships when they will find certain Jaguars, essentially with your preferences, such as 2010 to 15, all the engine mileage budget, what you have outlined. And then we start doing what we call curation. That is the vehicle inventory listing, which we do on a Google spreadsheet. So by doing that, we are able to identify how many vehicle options, first of all, is available in the market within 50 miles, within 100 miles of your zip code. This way, we are not just getting bogged down that, okay, we have found one vehicle, we just have to negotiate with that particular dealership, and that's pretty much about it. At Car Concierge Pro, we are completely unaffiliated. That is, we are not affiliated with any dealership or manufacturer. What I mean by that is we don't get incentives, kickbacks, commissions from anyone. That way, we represent and we work for you, just like how a lawyer will work for their client. So we have the best interest of you getting the exact vehicle based on your budget, based on the specifications, what you have. And for that, we will do multiple rounds of negotiations with each and every dealership where this particular vehicles are found. So that way we have a detailed understanding about how many options are there, what is the pricing look like, which dealerships is offering us the very best deal after all the detailed negotiations which we do. And then we proceed with the car purchase.
Perfect. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Just a little bit of help, navigating the car space out there. I know there's a lot going on, and frankly, as mentioned, it's like a second job. So,
Yes, yes. And in order to ensure that you are not doing the job and you have completely delegated the job to us, none of the dealerships will ever get to know that this vehicle is being shopped around for you till
yeah,
the very
right.
final hour, right? So that means none of the dealerships are going to call you, pester you, text you, email you saying that, hey, Joshua, today is the last day, take it or leave it, the deal is off the table. blah blah blah, and everything what the dealership salespeople typically do. So
Correct.
we receive more than 500 plus different calls because we are representing multiple clients with multiple requirements across the entire geography of the US as well as Canada. And then we do all this like back and forth with the dealership till we identify the final dealership. But as a client, you get a full visibility about our communication, our day-to-day activity, which we share via an email, as well as a brief update over a text message, so that you are completely in loop as to what we have done today, where we are, and how we are proceeding. So that way we keep receiving your feedback, and based upon that, we can tweak or turn what is required as a part of this process.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. I really appreciate that insight.
Sure. So,
And then
yeah.
go ahead. Perfect. If you have something else, go ahead.
No, no, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna kind of ask it, typically about, how does pricing work? How does, is there different stages, different packages? If you don't mind walking me through a little bit of that.
Yeah, sure. So we, as we are not affiliated with any dealership or manufacturer of different vehicles such as like Toyota, Hyundai, Honda, Kia, etc., we request modest payment from you as our client to sustain our operation and also to ensure that we keep providing top-notch quality service. Now you have mentioned that you are looking to purchase a Jaguar XFR as well as looking to sell your Audi A8 Quattro. So let me share my screen and share how does the pricing work, and then also I'll share it with you all the behind the scenes activity what we actually do, which is not shown on our website. Let me know once it is visible.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. So, Joshua, this is our car buying page where we have highlighted the three-step engagement process. One is the extensive curation, the second one is getting the curated deal, and the third one is having a hassle-free purchase. So this is the requirement form. We'll go through it in a little bit where we'll understand the make, model, trim, color package. Most of the details is what you have already shared with us. But typically people when they reach out to us, they will just say, I'm not sure what I'm looking for, or as a family either we are looking for a seven-seater SUV or a five-seater SUV. Can you please help? So in those kind of a cases we understand and do a little bit more deeper dive to get additional information to initiate the market research in accordance to what you are looking for. And then there are certain clients who will come exactly what they are looking for, such as you, I believe, where you have already mentioned the years, the engine, the mileage, the budget, how, what should be the title, where you are based out of, but how we can do a nationwide search, etc., etc., etc. So, understanding the client preferences is absolutely important for us. And then we do the scouting through the 15 plus online automotive platforms for the curated car selection. Then comes the deals. We will analyze all the listings, what we have done. Then we'll negotiate with the dealerships. And then through thorough assessment based on the years of experience in a dynamic database, the entire market research comes into the action. And then eventually we enable a hassle-free purchase once you approve the negotiated deal. So as a client, you have a full right to review and say, hey, this is good. Can we look further? Can we see if we can even get $200 more off, etc., etc. And once everything is set and done, then we'll put you in touch with the dealership. That is where you make the vehicle payment and then eventually proceed with the buyer's order, sign up the contract, and then get the keys of your vehicle. So that way we ensure transparency, savings, and a stress-free experience. And this is very important. We have something called value for money, where we also compare with multiple dealership offers. So that way you can get the best possible deal. So we look at the comparison between the miles versus price and see how it is trending on a mathematical equation. And after that, we again do additional savings by negotiating better interest rate. I believe that you have already been looking at you might be looking at different financing options, but as I can see that your Audi A8 is already with a Federal Credit Union, Tower Federal Credit Union, TFCU. So like that, if you are looking to get another financing from credit union, then we can work on negotiating the interest rate with the bank or negotiating the interest rate with the dealership as well. So now there is this section where we talk about the pricing and how it is segmented. So there is a concept called curation, which is when we do the market research, inventory availability, and curated deals. And then the second part is the negotiations, which is the price negotiations, finance lease negotiation, and helping you with the deal closure. And then we have a third part, which is the trade in. Trade in is essentially a part where we sell your vehicle at the highest appraisal value. So the objective is you don't have to like take your Audi A8, go to multiple dealerships and hope that they can give you an offer which you cannot refuse. So all of those things is done virtually from our side, where once we receive your car details, we'll work for the next 72 hours to get you the highest value, and then you will be notified, and then we'll review and sell. We have multiple reviews on those front. So by doing this, we are looking at two different approaches. One, if we do an independent sell of your vehicle and an independent purchase of your Jaguar, and see what is the total money which is going out of your pocket. That's case number one. And number two is like we just look at the Jaguar and then we just go back to the same dealership as a part of a trade in process and see if that is where we are putting less money out of your pocket.
Mm, okay.
In both the cases, wherever we are going to spend less money while ensuring that the objective what we have initiated the work for is getting completed, that is the step what we'll take.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. So both the aspect is taken into consideration. Sorry, both the aspects is taken into consideration to ensure that if independent sale gives us more money versus a trade in gives us the more money. And another tactic what we deploy is we never inform the dealership that there is a trade. We will work in a very independent and a systematic manner where we'll ask the dealership to give us the lowest negotiated offer possible for the Jaguar XFR. And after that, we'll inform them that now we have this Audi for the trade and give us the highest appraisal offer. So the difference between the two should be the minimum which you should be paying in order to complete this transaction effectively.
Mm, okay.
Yes. And so our total fees is the car buying plus the trade, which is 1697. That is the curation, negotiation, and trade. We have 20% savings in the fees as part of a combined package. Plus, there is a $200 off as a part of the spring season at the moment. So it will be 1497 all inclusive.
Understood. Okay.
So
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that makes sense perfectly. Yeah,
Yes.
and that would include the research, the negotiations, and then also working with the negotiations and trade of my current vehicle.
Yes, it involves all three of them. And let me show you
Okay.
how this looks like in actual scenario so that it's not just we are here just talking about it, but you can see. Are you able to see a spreadsheet?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So this is one of our client, Dr. Paul Chang. He was looking for a Porsche 911 coupe. He wanted to purchase this, and he also had something called trade. Okay, so he was selling his vehicle. So what we did, just a second here. So first of all, we understand. So we will list down everything like this. We'll understand your exterior and interior color preferences, which you have not shared at the moment, but if there is any, we will collect. And then we'll do a thorough listings of what you are looking at. And then something where we'll go and one second here. Yeah, we'll be able to list down all the 911 Carreras. So you can see that we do a very detailed listing with respect to the dealership name, what is the online price, what is the distance look like, whether it is available or not. So there was a lot of markups back then. Initial OTD, what is the appraisal value of his Panamera we are getting, whether there is a premium package or not. So this is all the additional things what he wanted, very very specific things he wanted, right? So we
Mhm.
document this in like absolutely like black and white, so that we don't there is no ambiguity that whether those kind of things will be there in the vehicle. So for example, you have
Understood.
mentioned that I want an engine which is 5 liter supercharged V8, right? Now that's very very specific because I know Jaguar XFR typical comes with V6, and then there are
Yeah.
certain models who only come with V8. So that will be something mandatory for our team to look at in greater detail. And this is where
Mm.
we do value for money. So you can see that there were like three dealerships shortlisted within 200 miles, where we were getting the initial OTD, the current OTD, which is the negotiated one. So you can see we have started the negotiation. We were seeing the initial appraisal was only 88,000. We are increasing. So for the same car, we were able to go from 88 to $92,000. So we keep
Mhm.
pushing more and more money for your current vehicle, right? From 80,000 to 86,500, even without you stepping into the dealership. And you can see what was the initial difference coming, and then what was the current difference, including taxes and fees. So we have lowered it down to 49, we have lowered it down to 49,900. So we continuously track once we purchase, once we sell, what is the difference, initial difference, what is the negotiated difference. And then we keep doing
Got
it.
it.
Yeah. So you can see that we again did it for some other dealerships, like exactly. And then the difference was even lower. Right. But then while we were doing certain times, the vehicle also got sold. But you can see if we are in hurry and if we don't uh, do a very thorough, detailed, diligent review, then you might end up paying $65,000 to execute the trade versus now you are only paying $49,000.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
that's where we bring immense value and ensure
Yeah.
that we are taking care of this in a most structured manner. Are you able to see another spreadsheet called MADI?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So here, this is a lady who had a very detailed specification. You can see and again, this I'm showing as a pre-owned because you are also looking for a pre-owned, so you can relate to it. There are certain Jaguar deals also we have done. I'm not just getting on the top of my mind at the moment, but it's, yeah, done in a very similar and structured manner, where she was looking for 2020 or newer, 40,000 miles or less. You have mentioned 100,000 miles or less, right? She also had a budget over here. She has put MSRP, that is the lowest possible. And the timeline also was very, very ambitious what she gave it to us. And she also said that she is comfortable looking at across the USA, just how you have also mentioned that we are open to across USA, but we have to consider the cost of like shipping and transport and how it looks like eventually as a part of an overall deal value. And that is where we review that thoroughly. So once we got all of this, we don't get bogged down and say, "Oh wow, how is this going to take place?" Right? Why it is so difficult? But we do a thorough listing. So you can see that we even went like 1700 miles, 2000 miles away from her zip code. We identified which type of vehicles they were available, okay, which city they had, what were the package looked like. And these were all the specific requirements what she mentioned. So we'll list down whether it has 360-degree view or not, whether it has smart key system, keyless start or not, whether it is having warranty or not. Then we list down window sticker, we list down the color options, online price, what is the miles driven, Carfax, very, very important because again, as I can see your detailed email that you're looking for a clean Carfax, right? So that is something which is very, very important for us. A rebuild is a little bit tricky, and we'll come to that because if you're looking to finance for a rebuild, it becomes very difficult for the banks to give you the financing, or for the even dealers
Yeah, agreed.
sometimes to give the financing because they cannot justify the total value of the vehicle. So it's always better to get a clean title, even if it is like your budget is like 20,000, even if your our total including taxes, title, license, registration comes out to be about 20,500-ish, right? I'm just giving a scenario here because with that we will be able to fund it. And eventually, after 3 years or 5 years or 7 years, when you plan to do the trade of your Jaguar, we are able to get a good, again, the value as a part of the selling process. And then we list down again with the dealerships whom we are speaking with. So you have full visibility. This document is shared with you. So on real-time basis, you will know what is the initial OTD. Are you aware what does the OTD means?
Um, on target something.
No worries, no worries. So OTD in this, like the automotive or the car buying journey means out the door. That means
Oh, out the door. Okay.
your vehicle price plus the registered fees, taxes, title, license, registration. So that way we know what is the big elephant in the room. Dealership will typically not share this with you. They'll be like, okay, hey, you are looking to purchase a car, Joshua, but let me understand what is your monthly budget. If your monthly budget is only like $500, they will say, yeah, 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 we'll get you the deal for $500. But instead of giving you financing only for 4 years, which will be like 48 months, now what they will do is they will increase the financing tenure, that is the duration, to up to
Mhm.
60 months, 65 months, 72 months, and they sometimes even stretch it to 84 months. So now you will feel as a customer that okay, your budget, what you are looking for to be on a monthly basis, is entertained by the dealership. But lo and behold, they are playing a game where instead of you could have paid off within only 4 years of financing, now you are going to end up paying for 7 years. So the additional 3 years of what you will pay is a sheer profit what the dealership is able to get out of that.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Makes
So
sense. Yeah.
we
No.
take care of that and we ensure that we don't fall again to those manipulative, unfortunately, manipulative tactics of those dealerships. And then this is where we do value for money. Again, you can see that this were the listing price, this were the OTD, this were the MSRP. We also look at how much price has reduced since the vehicle was purchased, essentially on the pre-owned one. So if you find a 2014 Jaguar XFR, we'll see okay, what was the actual MSRP back in the day when when the Jaguar sold, essentially in 2014? Was it like $80,000? What is that? Was it like $85,000 MSRP?
Yeah, it's about 85. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I'm aware. I'm aware. So, and then we'll see, okay, right now the 2014 is getting sold for, let's say, 30, 32,000, $28,000, so on. And so we'll list down, okay, that this is the new listing price, what we are seeing, and along with applicable taxes of Columbia, Maryland, this is what we are looking at. and how many miles have been driven, how far is the dealership, and what are the key features we are getting. And then let me just
Mm.
zoom out for a quick second. This is how we visually represent. So it's done in a very objective manner to ensure that we are not taking any decision based upon just mere preference or just like an initial pricing what we have received from the dealership, but rather a thorough and detailed comparison from multiple different dealerships.
Well, that makes sense. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, that's actually really nice.
Thank you. And last but not the least, we have a lot of things which we do, and all of this will be incorporated into your document also. It's not just like a sample document what we are just showing for the sake of it. This we do it for every client. I'll show you like 5 plus 10 plus 20 plus clients where we plot this graphs, where we plot value for money. It's a standard ingrained process which has been designed by me to be executed for every client, especially if they are looking for a pre-owned vehicle. And so sometimes you may have encountered that on the pre-owned vehicles, you will see a very, very low mile vehicle online, maybe for example on Auto Trader or cars.com or cargurus.com, also listed for a very, very, very low price, and we feel, wow, this is fascinating, I found a really good deal just by searching for 2 minutes. But guess what, dealerships are even smarter than us. They will just list it at a low price for a low mile vehicle, so that you can just call them and they will start collecting your PI, which is personal information. And by the time you walk into the dealership to look at the same exact vehicle, they would have added hundreds of additional things such as window tinting fee, dealership convenience fee, this package, that package, security fee, paint protection, etc., etc. So that $31,000 car, what you saw online, has now become a $45,000 vehicle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely have seen that in the past. Yep.
And so what we do is once we get the final negotiated price from the dealership, this is where we list down that price. This is where we list down the miles associated for each of those listings or the shortlisted one. And then we plot a curve. So this curve clearly indicates anything which is below the red line, this three, which is like $38,000 and 10,000 miles, or $41,000 and 7,000 miles, or $44,000 and 4,000 miles is a good deal.
Yeah.
So instead of now looking at all the six options and not sure which one to pick and how to pick, not just based upon the distance of the dealership, etc., but at a overall costing what it is incurring us to purchase the vehicle as of today. Now we just have to focus on these three. Just like that, we did it one more plot. You can see every plot is not the same. So now anything which is below the red line, these two options are below the red line. So now again we see the farther any listing which is from the red line is the absolute best buy. So even if you are not sure which vehicle to purchase today, just by looking at the plot and looking at the miles versus price, if you purchase this vehicle, you will end up in a positive equity. That means you are buying at a very good deal from the market as compared to all other options being identified for your vehicle purchase.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Correct. So we are not just simply looking, okay, let's go for the cheapest price or let's go for the lowest miles, right, over here. But overall, and then we also do trim level comparison if you are not sure whether I should go for a limited trim level versus premium trim level. But I believe you are very clear because you have already mentioned you are looking for XFR. But like that, we do a detailed comparison here. One more thing I'll show you will be that let me give you one more client option here. So this is one of our another client where he was not sure which vehicle to purchase. So he was either thinking of Mercedes midsize SUV or Porsche Cayenne. And again, less than 20,000 miles to be driven on the vehicle, no manual transmission, and he had a Genesis. So he wanted to sell Genesis, and plus his budget was only 50K on the top of it. So that is what he was looking at. So we listed down all the coupe kinds, and you can see all the detailed dealership listing. What is the pricing look like? What is the difference? What is the initial OTD looking at? And then again, we plot a curve here. You can see. So I'll take a moment and open it up to you, Joshua, for any questions and queries you may have.
No, no, I think you did an excellent job of answering, walking me through kind of, day to day what kind of, service I'd be getting with this. You went through all the packages and kind of where I stand, and how much it's going to be. Now, how typically do your customers usually pay? How do they typically go about paying? Is it usually like one-time payment, or is it like after you buying the car? How does payments really work?
Yeah, so here there are three different, I would say, options we are considering in a sense that first of all, we are going to find a Jaguar for you. Second, we are going to get the appraisal value for your A8 Audi. And the third one is we are going to complete the transaction. So we also like to ensure that we are walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So I don't request a full payment upfront. There are certain clients who are repeat clients or who have come through their mutual friends or their family members and they know, okay, Neil, I have 100% trust in you. Let me just pay you 1497, take care of everything, and off we go. But there is also another option where you can just pay $499 as a part one payment, and you can see us initiating the engagement with you. First of all, with respect to finding Jaguar, multiple options within 50 miles, 100 miles, 200 miles, 500 miles off of your zip code, and seeing what are the options look like. Now, coming to one more point which you have listed is transportation and shipping. So there are three things which are very, very critical when we look at a pre-owned vehicle acquisition or the purchase. Number one is the condition of the vehicle. That is not just looking at the Carfax report and thinking, okay, the vehicle is in good condition, let me just go ahead and purchase it. What we also do, there are two additional pointers which we do a thorough review with, is number one, a dealership inspection report. We call it DIR. We ask the dealership that before you put this vehicle on market for listing, right? Because they would have got this Jag as a trade as a part of their day-to-day process, because or it would be sold by a Jaguar dealership and they have a pre-owned 2014-15 vehicle in the inventory options. So we ask them that, hey, it's a pre-owned vehicle. You would have done a quick 110 point or 115 point service inspection on this before listing it in the market. Please share the inspection report with us. And if a dealership hesitates or say we don't share, blah, 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 it's a red flag. Even if
Hmm.
they say, yeah, Joshua, take it for $10,000 and go home. But guess what? If tomorrow the engine stops working or the transmission creates issues, now instead of like whatever you saved is you will end up putting back in the vehicle and it would cost you a fortune.
Agreed.
Yeah. So that step we do. And then last but not the least is we recommend you that we should get the final vehicle, not everyone, right? But let's say out of like 15, 18, 20, 25 options which we have been reviewing, going back and forth, eliminating some of them, comparing the price versus miles, the graphical analysis, the test drives, if they are like nearby, or the dealership inspection report analysis, Carfax report analysis. Let's say finally we are in the top one and now you know, okay, that Neil, I want to purchase this vehicle. We recommend that it's a separate thing and it's optional. that we can get an independent third party mechanic, which can be like 5 to 6 miles away from that said dealership. So we do a lot of different market research to identify certain independent repair shops or a mechanic who will visit the dealership and who will inspect the vehicle and give us a detailed, unbiased report.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I like that too.
Correct. So that way, if there are any additional final red flags, and this we only do it for the ones which are like 500 miles away, so that you will not be like traveling to every options, right, to look into it. But if it is like nearby, we recommend that you visit it first. If you like it, then we spend that $100 to $200 on this independent mechanic, but only for the final one which we are going forward with. Okay. There are multiple options. We just recommend, and you can pick and choose if you want to do it and with whom you want to do it, and then you make the payment directly to them. We don't take a piece of pie. We do not, it's not a referral mechanism to us. It's just I would say a check and balance mechanism to ensure that you will not end up suffering once the vehicle is purchased.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay. And with respect to the shipping, I'll just stop talking. I'm very passionate about this. We have been doing it for 4 years, so I can talk on this for hours. But coming and I can tell you all the nuances and the challenges what we face every single day for every single deal what we do. But the thing being here that sometimes we think, okay, that we should purchase from a nearby dealership. But let's say if a nearby or a neighborhood dealership is offering us the Jaguar for $26,000 plus taxes and fees, which comes out to be $29,000 and 500 change. But let's say for the same vehicle, which is little bit that 2012, 13, 14, 15, similar miles, let's say around like 100,000 miles or less. Now we are getting another dealership to give it to us for 26,500 and some change. Now there is a $3,000 in price difference. But if the other dealership is, let's say, 1,000 miles away, and if we do all the due diligence, we get the inspection done, everything is good. They show you the entire Jaguar on a video FaceTime call so that you can look at interiors, exteriors, get a complete feeling of it. And then we have to decide, should we buy it local or should we go to this particular dealership. That is where we calculate the shipping cost. So shipping cost is typically $1 per mile. So if a vehicle is 1,000 miles away, we'll be adding $1,000 as our shipping cost. So that comes out to be 26,500 plus 1,000, which is 27,500. But it is still lower as compared to that neighborhood dealership who are at 29,500. This way, we can again not only compare apple to oranges, but actually apples to apples.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. No, I really appreciate that information. I mean, there's a lot to consider here. So I think for the next one, I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to my fiance, not make sure that she's cool with it because we do share finances. So I'm
Mhm.
going to talk to her, let her know that what we talked about and, the potential savings, what we're going to, basically save from doing this instead of, risking the market and doing it ourselves. It's definitely worth the investment. It could probably pay for itself, hopefully, in the long run.
No, it
Um,
does. We always ensure that, let's say, if you're paying a $1,500 to us, our entire intention is to help you save more than $4,000. Tangible
right.
savings, right? So at Car Concierge Pro, we look at both the option. That means we want to ensure that not only you have the convenience and this, I would say, expert guidance at your fingertip, but there is also cost savings.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to figure out here is not only, try to find the right vehicle, but at the same time, doing that negotiation stuff that, I can push off on someone else instead of myself because, that's something that takes time and, time is money, as why you making a business out of it.
Right, and you can spend that 30, 40, 50, 60 hours worth of work, what we'll do. You can
Yeah,
spend more time with your family, with your fiance, or you can even spend more time, a focused time at work as well.
right.
Yes.
Okay. I think I have everything I need. Like I said, I'm just going to talk to her about it, and then I should be able to get back to you guys tomorrow with a definitive yes. And yeah, I really appreciate you going through all this. I really like it. I've looked at all the reviews.
Oh, you have
Gotten
already
this.
looked at all the reviews? Okay, fine.
Yeah, yeah. No, I found you guys basically just kind of word of mouth, different forums. People say, your name's getting out there, even though you're only 4 years old. Your name's really starting to populate out in the world. So
Thank you. I'm very glad to hear that. And especially after a long day at work, if someone says a few good things about our dedicated service, that means a lot. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. There's not too many of you out there that have expanded this far, so it's good to see. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go take this information back to her, and then yeah, I should have something for you guys tomorrow.
Sure. Joshua, before we complete, just two more things. I know that I speak a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry for that. Number one is we'll do a milestone-based payment. So once we complete the Jaguar market research and everything, once you see the pricing, the quotations, the negotiated pricing, what you're coming, then you pay the second part of the payment, which will be another
Roger.
$500. That is when we will start getting the appraisal value, that is your selling value of your Audi, and then you pay that the third $500 once we complete the transaction. That means you have
Understood.
completely
Yep.
sold the vehicle, you have bought a new one, you have keys in hand, and you walk home happy. That is where you pay the remaining 500. That way, we have skin in the game. We are aligned with you. We will keep serving you, and we ensure that you leave us another 5-star Google review for us. And
Yeah, no,
last,
I think that's very fair.
thank you. Thank you. So that way you are not that way we are there for you. We don't stop communicating or take that $1,500 and run away. We have a lot of bigger
No,
projects and bigger aspirations as we come across. And last but not the least, if your fiance wants to have a detailed demo, like how we went through and to address her questions and her queries, we would request if we can get on another call with you and her per both of your availability, either tomorrow, based on your schedule, how it looks like, and then we are happy to go through that once again to ensure that she also gets to have that first hand understanding. The spreadsheets what we showed you, the documentation what we do, the email coordination what we do, we have not put it on the website because we don't want people to just take it lightly. This is a lot of a serious and detailed approach what we do. So that's why we want to keep it very personalized, and also we respect all of our clients' privacy, so we don't disclose
Mhm.
informations online.
Yeah, no, I totally understand, and I really appreciate that. Privacy is something that's very big. It's a big issue out there in the world, so I really appreciate you taking that consideration. And then, the offering to do the demo again really shows credibility in what you guys believe in and what you guys are offering here. So, I'll talk to her if she wants that, then I'll definitely let you know. But I'm sure she's just gonna tell me no and tell me that it's perfectly fine, do what you think is right. But I do want to walk it by her just to make sure she's up, if she has any questions. And if there is any questions I may have missed, maybe she can tell me and then I can ask you guys. But I think we are in a pretty good spot here. So I'm going to go take that to her and then, have an answer for you guys tomorrow.
Sure, sounds good. Akansha from my team will be point of contact. She'll be coordinating with you. And if you have any queries, let me also put down my number over here. You can also directly reach out to me as well in case of any more further discussions.
No problem. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Talk soon. Bye bye.
You too. You too. Bye bye.